Since the beginning of time, humans have been obsessed with knowing about the future. Thousands of years ago, the Mesopotamians looked up into the night sky and found the 12 signs of the zodiac and figured that out so that we would know how to plan our days. Well, here in the Christian tradition, inquiring minds want to know, does God know the future? And how much of the future does he know? If you say, well, yes, God knows the future, then you're faced with the question of, what about my own free will? And if you say, no, he doesn't know the future, then it's like, well, then who's in charge? From the earliest days of my life, I was taught that God is all-knowing, and therefore he knows the future. But recently, I've been beginning to question the certainty of all of that. My friend Tom Oord suggests that God doesn't know the future. God knows all possible futures. Can I run that by you again? God doesn't know the future. God knows all possible futures. Let me illustrate with a real simple diagram. When we come to a decision point, a significant decision point in our life, whether to get married, whether to stay married, what do I do with this new job offer that I've been given? How do I take care of my aging parents? When we come face to face with each of these decisions, the question is, does God know which path I'm going to choose before I even choose it? And the first option says, well, obviously, yes. He knows all things, therefore God knows the future. This is what we would call conventional wisdom. This is the safer position because, number one, most Christians hold to this position. Number two, we feel safer in a world where a sovereign God is in control. And number three, when things go wrong, we have somebody to blame. So out of all of the options, all of the possibilities of life, God knows which path you're going to choose before you even choose it. And it's our job to find that path. Where is God's will for my life? And this conventional wisdom emphasizes the sovereignty of God. The end is known at the beginning, and all that's left for us to do is either to fall in line or fall out of line. This conventional wisdom solves a lot of problems, but it also creates some problems. We only have time for one. When you tell me that God knows the future, when you tell me that God knows my future, what about my own personal free will, my own personal freedom? There can be so much emphasis on the sovereignty of God that my free will gets lost somewhere in the background. And so there's a second option. No, he doesn't know the future. He knows all possible futures. This second option suggests that maybe God doesn't know the exact path that you're going to choose. When we come to a decision point in our life, the Almighty God, the master and creator of the universe, stops and waits for you and me to use our free will. God limits himself and doesn't know the path, and it is in that moment that we use our free will. This is why your free will is so important. Why it's so important to think carefully, to pray seriously, to choose wisely what path and how we are going to use our free will to move our life forward. In the second option, God is all over. He is in all of these possible futures. And in each one of these paths, God is available to help us. So no matter where we are on that journey, if we would take just one authentic step, if we would take one pathetic step to turn and ask God for help, he will help you. Friends, I'm not smart enough to explain how that happens, but he is literally right there with you ready to help you make your next decision. So wherever you are right now today, God is there with you. Can I say that one more time? Hear me today. Wherever you are, God is right there with you, ready to help you with whatever decision you are facing right now. Boy, I wish we had more time, but thanks for being with me. Have a great week. God bless.